If you love to decorate and you want to save money, I've got the perfect video for you. I'm Jamie, the crafty DIY guy. Welcome back to my channel. I'd like to thank Mixtiles for sponsoring today's video. And for this first DIY, you're going to need some macrame cord from Dollar Tree. And then you're also going to want to grab some beads. Now, I was able to get this black macrame cord, and that was perfect. I also have these great beads. I picked these up probably at like Michael's or Hobby Lobby or somewhere. But what I love about them, and especially love keeping them in a jar like this, is that I can very easily just kind of pour the beads into the lid. It helps keeps everything real organized, and I can select my options. Now, I'm going to use my little trick here with my glue gun and kind of thread my needle, if you will. I like to do that. That way the beads slide on a lot easier. And you're just going to kind of continue to do this in whatever pattern and whatever color combo you like. Now, all of these beads have a really cool kind of wood tone to them, so I really do like them. And the only thing I'm doing is just making sure that the colors don't exactly match with each other. Now, if you happen to have a bead like this one that, maybe the hole isn't quite there, you can take a pair of scissors, you can take a drill bit, anything like that, and just kind of help kind of spread that one. And then sometimes it just doesn't work, and you got to grab another one. And that's exactly what I did here. Now, you are going to continue to kind of build this strand until you've got the length that you like. And I am just about there. Now, go ahead and take your strands and you are going to tie them together right here. Now, you are going to make sure that you tie this knot very, very tightly because you are going to kind of continue with your beads here, but you want this knot to kind of not get in your way. See what I did there? The knot not getting in your way. And go ahead and get rid of one of those strands because you're not going to need it. Just make sure you don't cut so far that you end up messing up your strand there. And then add more beads. Make sure you add a larger bead if you can. That way it kind of helps camouflage that knot. And then repeat that same process. I added more hot glue onto the tip of my twine there, or my macrame cording there, and just kind of continued to thread beads. And then, you can kind of take your scissors and kind of clip it, and it kind of helps create almost like a needle point. I forget who told me about this trick, but it is a trick that I love. It works with yarn, it works with thread, it works with everything. And it's such an easy way to go ahead and just start threading your beads. Now, I'm digging in here because I want a little bit more color variety here. And now I'm going to take a bunch of my macrame cord, and we're going to create a tassel. Now, I don't know if I make my tassels exactly the way you're supposed to make tassels or not, but I'm always happy with them. I get compliments on them from friends if they come over and see them. So this is what I'm doing. Take some of your cord, just wrap it around your hands, make it as thick as you want. That's totally up to you. And then you are going to take your kind of bundle there, and you are going to tie it onto the end of your beads there, and you're going to get rid of one of the strings as well. And then you're going to, after you kind of figure out where your center point is, you're going to tie off another piece there and kind of pinch it in the middle, because that kind of gives you like the head of the tassel, we'll say. And then again, you can kind of trim away kind of any of that excess that you need. And then the fun part really starts to happen here. And this is where you cut those loops that you had, and then just kind of trim off and just kind of make your tassel be about the same size that you like, or whatever size you like. And you can drape these around a vase like I did here. They're a very nice decorative accent. It's a great way to really have some fun impact on some home decor. And I love the way that this one turned out. All right, everybody. Now I'm really excited to tell you about today's sponsor, Mixtiles. Now, Mixtiles allows you to turn your beloved photos into art. But what also is really cool about Mixtiles is that you can also choose from pre-selected art designs with Mixtiles art. So you literally can become your own art gallery curator. Now, first and foremost, with your photos on your smartphone, you can literally select your photos and create art with them. It is crazy. Some of your most cherished art can come to life. It is crazy. And by the way, all of the Mixtiles products stick to your wall, and they stick to the walls of any kind, and they leave no damage. And the best thing is when you want to change it up, maybe you get bored, maybe you're going to add to your collection, maybe you just want to move things around, you can because of Mixtiles magic. Your frames stick to the wall and re-stick to the wall with no nails, no marks, no holes, nothing left behind on your walls. Now, many of you know that my house is 86 years old and I have plaster walls. Art is very, very hard to hang on the walls because I have to use either heavy duty anchors or they leave really big holes in the wall and then sometimes they don't stick. If I decide to change them out, I have to repatch a hole, I have to repaint it, I have to remeasure, and I really have to hope that I hit the right spot the next time that I go to hang artwork. With Mixtiles, I don't have to worry about any of that because Mixtiles stick perfectly to my walls, and my walls are not only plaster, but they are also textured. No screws, no damage, no holes. Now with Mixtiles art, which is what I chose to do, you can buy beautifully framed art from the best artist in the world. Artwork that comes already framed and ready to stick and re-stick to any wall. But what's also great about Mixtiles is that they support the artist with every purchase and the artist retains all rights to their artwork. I think that's really, really cool. Now, I want all of you to discover the excitement of creating your very own stunning home decor with Mixtiles, and they're offering a very, very generous discount right now. Use promo code HMZ50 and you can save up to 50% off. Of course, some restrictions apply. Check out the link in my description box, but for right now, let's get back to those DIYs. Now for this next DIY, I'm going to be using a Hoola Skirt. I'm telling you, whenever you can find these things, grab them. They come in so handy. I'm also going to be using one of these small round wreath forms. You could certainly use a larger wreath form. Just to give you some perspective, these Hoola Skirts, or the Hoola Skirt that I'm using here, this is a child-sized Hoola Skirt, and I did end up using 2 of them for this project. So just be warned, if you find these, grab 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. I would imagine if you were to do a larger version of this, you're probably going to need 6 to 8 of these Hoola Skirts. So take that thread or that twine that you see those kind of hula pieces on, cut the end of it off, and then just start pulling those bundles off and get you a nice pile of bundles. And that's kind of what your main kind of project is going to be right now for a little while. And I ended up having to go in and dig into my stash and find my second Hoola Skirt, which was actually, unfortunately, my last Hoola Skirt. The good news is we all know Dollar Tree will have them out very, very shortly. So now you're going to take your bundles and you're going to fold them in half. You're also going to take your wreath form and not do what I did here. You're actually going to flip this upside down. So now that it's upside down, this is what it's going to look like when you pull those bundles through. So hopefully that makes sense. Initially, I had this kind of facing upwards instead of facing downwards. And you'll see here what I'm talking about. You don't want to go over that way. You want to flip it over and kind of go over the back side. So make your loop and then pull your pieces of your raffia through. The Hoola Skirts are nice because they're nice long pieces. You could probably do this with bundles of raffia if you happen to have some just bundles of raffia. I would just make sure that they're nice and long pieces. And you're literally just going to sit here and just kind of continue to do what I am doing here. And what's really cool is that as you're doing this and you're kind of pulling them tighter and tighter, you will see that a really beautiful kind of knot pattern starts to develop there. And I love this. Now, you could certainly make this different sizes if you wanted. I would imagine if you took a larger wreath form, you could take these individual little bundles and maybe wrap them around each one of those wire sections and, trim your raffia to make them like maybe 3 different lengths there. You really have total flexibility here. But as you can see, this really, really gets beautiful and it gets nice and full. I thought about adding like some beads or some seashells or something like that, but I just loved the simplicity of this. This is going to go on my front door. I really, really like the way that this is turning out and just, again, how simple it is. Now, for this last little part here, I think I had like, 6 or 7 little bundles left. So I just kind of used all 6 or 7 of those bundles together to kind of wrap that last little section there. When I was doing this, I was using 5 bundles per loop. So hopefully that makes sense. So you take the longer bundles, fold them in half, and then kind of loop them around. And that's exactly what I did here. And as you can see, this turned out absolutely gorgeous. I am so happy with this. I love the way that this turned out on the wall. I'm so happy with it. I think maybe the only other thing I might consider doing is adding a mirror to the back of it. How beautiful is this? Now, this next DIY also turned out really fun, and all of these items came from Dollar Tree Crafter Square. This kind of vine wood thing, and then this round circle, all from Dollar Tree in the Crafter Square section. So go ahead and take your price tags off. You can see I kind of drew a line there with a ruler, and now I'm just going to take my lineman pliers and I'm just going to snip that off. I just want that to be kind of a flatter surface. That way it does kind of sit flat on the countertop or wherever you're going to put this. And obviously that round has a circle there that or a hole that's cut there, and you can fill that in if you want to, but you'll see you don't even see it when we're done here. Go ahead and add some hot glue kind of right where that hole is. And then you're going to take your kind of viney tree piece and you are going to hold it in place here for just a minute until that hot glue starts to take hold. And then I did go ahead and add a nail. Now you've got something like this. I took it outside, I spray painted it gold, I added some rocks and a floating candle, and I absolutely love this. This is actually now in my living room. I love this so, so much, and it was so, so easy. Now, speaking of easy, this is also another easy project. This pencil or kind of paperclip holder thing came from Dollar Tree, and then this plate was from Walmart's, from their Better Homes and Gardens. Go ahead and remove that tag. And I loved how this kind of like wood grain was on the inside of this, and I didn't want to mess with that at all. I just took a pencil, just kind of did a little crisscross here so I'd have a general idea of where my pencil case here or my paperclip holder could go. I added a very, very generous amount of hot glue. As you guys know, I typically tend to do that a lot. And when I let this dry, I took this outside and I put it face down, just like you see right here. And I spray painted the pencil or the paperclip holder and the back of the plate black. And when I did it, look how gorgeous this turned out. I love this so, so much. You could leave it as is, or you could add greenery. You could add an oversized candle. Super, super easy, very high-end looking, and I am in love with it. Now this next DIY, this one's a little more complicated, but not hard at all. We're going to take a welcome sign from Crafter Square. I've got these things from the hardware department that I thought I might use, but I ended up not using them. And then I've got this piece of wood. I believe I picked this up at like Michael's or Hobby Lobby or something. I've had it forever. I took the welcome sign outside, spray painted it black, and now I'm going to use these hooks instead of the other hooks that we saw before. For my wood here, I'm going to take my favorite antique wax and we are just going to cover this. I love using a cloth of some kind. If you have not used the Dollar Tree bar mops, you should. They are fantastic for staining and they wash up really, really easily as well. Take the heat gun, go ahead and kind of speed up the drying process because I am impatient. And then for the welcome sign, I am going to be adding glue onto the parts that are going to be touching the wood. Not all of the letters are going to touch the wood. So kind of figure out which ones you need to add glue to, and then you're going to glue them down like this. I kind of did this upside down so I could purposely kind of center it and kind of get an idea. And forgive me for not washing my hands. You can see they're still covered with antique wax. And also forgive me because I know some of you DIYers get upset when I don't stain the back of my projects or paint them, but this part's going to be hanging on the wall, so what's the big deal? I had some of these picture hooks that I had saved from a previous project, so I'm just going to add those to the back. And now I'm going to take a ruler and I'm going to kind of figure out the spacing of where I want to put my hooks. Now, these hooks are great and they, you know, they have an adhesive back on them and everything. However, I am not going to just depend on that adhesive back. I am going to go ahead and peel off the backing there. And then I'm going to just reinforce it with some hot glue. And I did this first one. It was about, I think it was about like 2.5 inches out. And then I decided to go ahead and start on the other side of my welcome sign and also kind of do that about at the same point. And again, this might be 2.5 inches. I think I'm right at the 2-inch mark. Anyway, you get the idea here. And I went ahead and also just kind of repeated the process and just adding the other hooks in there, peeling off that adhesive backing, and then just gluing these down. And when you're all done, you've got a very cool welcome sign that you can put at the front door. I'm actually going to be using mine for baseball caps. When I walk in my front door, I sometimes take off my baseball cap and hang them up. So that's what I've got here. You could make this as long as you wanted to. You could personalize this, put person's name on it. It could be one for Bobby and one for Sue and one for Joe. It could be one for everybody in the family. It's definitely a cute way to stay organized. And I love the way that this turned out. All right, you guys, that is it for today's video. Let me know in the comments below which projects were your favorite. I definitely have some favorites, and I also really love my Mixtiles art that you see, especially this one hanging here behind me. Now, remember, there is a link in the description box for you to check out Mixtiles, and with that discount code, you can save up to 50% off on your order, so definitely check out Mixtiles. You can do art like this, or you can even upload your own photos. You can create your own gallery wall, and it's totally up to you. All right, guys, until next time, I will chat with you later. Bye-bye.